All right, my good people. I hope you all are having an amusing day. In today's video, guys, let us discuss about the bullion. A lot of people are mistaken. Some are saying that the bullion is over. Some are saying we are at the top of the bullion. Some are saying that we are already in the bear. So many opinions, So I want to clear the air today. I want to point out my view if the bullion is over, or we are going to still see the bullion, or we are in the bear already. So this is what we are going to discuss today. Pay attention to this video. It's very important, especially if you are holding altcoin or crypto or any assets. You have to pay attention. So for some people, they are now selling their crypto. They believe we are in bear. For some people, they are now bringing their money, heavily buying the altcoin they believe in. Whichever way you want to think about it, all of them are right in their opinion. But I want to point something out, that the bullion is not over. We haven't even started the bullion yet. That is something you need to understand. The 2 years bull is intact. We haven't even experienced it yet. All right? So we haven't even experienced the bullion yet. Yes, you heard me right. The bullion, as a matter of fact, we haven't even experienced it. What you see in the market with Bitcoin pumping to 150,000, 100 and something thousand is a calculative movement from the institutions, from the VCs. They did that to help Donald Trump. All right? So this is a calculative movement. We haven't even seen the economic effect in the market. Like, the Fed have not even cut down the interest rates. So to see the bullion to start with. All right? So whatever you see that Bitcoin is doing is the VC that are pushing that price up. It's the big guys, BlackRocks. So they are the ones buying. So the bullion have not even started. You have to pay attention that for the past 2 years or 3 years, our global economy just was stagnant. No, like everything was stagnant. No, there's no businessman that will say, it's only few businessmen that will say, in the last 2 to 3 years, I did well in my business than the previous time. Everything, you have to understand the war that is going on in Ukraine, everything, it affected the global market, the interest rate, inflation. So we haven't seen the bullion. So stop giving yourself the assumption that the bullion is over. It's not over. What you see that happened to Bitcoin here, Bitcoin went to 115,000 to 112,000. That is a calculative movement from the institutional investors, the VCs, the whales. So that is not part of the actual self. If true that Bitcoin is pumping, the money is there, why is it that Ethereum is not pumping? All right. So you can see that the Mr. President, the President of America, is now begging the Joe Paul, is now begging him to reduce interest rate. So I want you to think about it. Whenever we are here, the last cycle, this is my third bull cycle. Anytime we normally see the bull is when they started printing money, when they started lowering interest rate. That is when people borrow money at a lower interest rate and they become risk-free. All right? But because now you are borrowing money at a higher interest rate, even to buy your house, so it doesn't make sense. So people cannot borrow money to put in a risky asset when interest rate is high. So basically, when interest rate is low, that is when people will be having a risk-free, because the interest rate is obviously low. So they are going to borrow a heavy amount of money, buy their favorite coin, everything will pump. That is when we are going to see liquidity inject into the market. That is when we're going to see the bull cycle began. So for some of you who are still mistaken that the bullion is over, I want to assure you that I'm not a financial advice anyway. So don't take anything I'm saying here as a conclusion for you to make your financial decision. You are going to fail, all right? So the bullion is not officially over. In fact, it have not even started yet. We haven't even seen the tip of iceberg. So we are just starting. All right. So you have all the whole time to accumulate your favorite crypto, because all of them are still cheap as a matter of fact. You have to go back to 2020 bullion. In 2020, a lot of people was in denial. They say that we're not going to see a bullion again. In 2021, it started like, okay, the bullion is over. Guess what? In 2021, September, October, November, pew, that is it. Bitcoin become crazy. So you have to understand the history will always repeat itself. All right. When the Fed, eventually the Fed, Jerome Powell is going to start reducing interest rate for sure. It's not going to remain like this forever, of course. So Donald Trump have said it. Even if he's going to reduce it for 2 years, if inflation comes back, he can high it again, that is normal bull cycle. All right. He's going to reduce it, of course. We know the reduction is coming, and obviously is going to reduce it. All right. So I want to assure you that the bullion is yet to come. And you have to keep in mind that Trump policy, a lot of country, they haven't even know the plans of Donald Trump. All right. He started with tariff law, with the immigrant, with a lot of things. So a lot of things, Donald Trump have not even settled down in the office very well, even though that this is 6 months of he is in office, but he haven't even last very well to get his government straight. So a lot of investors are still wanting to know his economic policy in order to make a decision. And the interest rates have not even come down. So the bullion have not even started. That is one thing I want you to know. Whatever that is happening with the price of Bitcoin, ask yourself, why is it only Bitcoin? Tell me any other crypto that is pumping. None. But Bitcoin is almost at the all-time high. When ADA is not even at that time high, nothing. Everything is still almost 80% to 30% to 50%, 90% below the previous all-time high. Why Bitcoin is making a new all-time high? That is a calculative world movement. They are doing that to manipulate the market. So it's not reflecting to the bull cycle that we normally see, that the altcoin bull cycle, everything moves 10%, 20%. In a day you will see a coin move 10x, 200x. We have not even seen that. All right. So you have to keep in mind. And one thing you must know is that the bullion, Ethereum will definitely get to 8,000. That is my price target. Some people are saying, are calling for 10,000. A lot of people are saying 10,000, but I don't believe that Ethereum, it can hit. All right. Because I never believe that Bitcoin can hit 112,000. Because it eventually hits. But I believe that Ethereum can hit $8,000. That is my minimum target, and it will hit. So bullion is not over yet. In fact, it have not even begun. So this is for me to clearly you what is going on in the market. What you should consider that interest rates have not cut. Donald Trump policy have not even is still having meeting with China. They have not even have a conclusion yet. Russia war is still ongoing, and I believe at the time they're going to have peace. Everything will return back to normal. Life is not going to be always like this. All right. So some people always think about now. You are not thinking about 6 months time, 1 year time, what will happen. So a lot of things is going to change. Make sure you are not giving up your bag at this very moment. I have never seen anybody who lost everything in holding coin. If you are holding, you are going to make it. But if you sell and give up, that is where I often see a lot of people say, I regret selling this coin. I have never seen anybody say, I regret holding this coin for a long time. So thank you for watching, and make sure you stay crypto. I will see you in the next one.